The opinions expressed in the following podcast are those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. The talkin', naggin', lucha watching, Puro viewing, indie supporting, drinking, cursing, son of a gun of a podcast. Former pro wrestling manager, wrestler, and promoter Dave Dynasty and co-host Ike Isaacs discuss wrestling and chat with others in the business. This is the Dave Dynasty Show.
Greetings and welcome to the Dave Dynasty Show. I'm your host, Dave Dynasty. This is the podcast trying to bring the positivity back to pro wrestling.
Where did it go?
Oh, you've been around wrestling and wrestlers. There's a lot of dickheads.
Oh, yeah. Of course there is.
A lot of negative Nellies.
A lot of dickheads everywhere, man.
Speaking of Debbie Downers, I'm joined by my co-host,
Ike Isaacs. That's me.
You jumped the gun before your introduction. I was trying to speak, and you just jumped in.
Yep, that's me.
Speaking of dickheads.
It's my character. It's who I do.
We are 30 seconds in, and I'm already dropping names.
That's how it goes, you know. It's what can you do about it? What you gonna
Find
do
a new
about
co-host.
it? And you can't teach that.
Don't. Seriously.
Yes.
No Enzo.
I like Enzo. Enzo's pretty cool. He's cool with me. He's a straight up G.
He's proof that if you can talk, you can go somewhere.
Yeah, man, he's not a bad wrestler. I mean, he's not like the best wrestler, obviously, but he's by far. I mean, I know there's that like one little spot he messed up with.
One little spot
with Cesaro. Yeah,
keep looking. There's more than one.
I'm sure, but I bet I can find.
I'm not talking about Enzo.
Anyways,
though. Thank you for joining us. However you do, iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, and by whichever means you do, please subscribe, follow, like, and comment, share, all that good stuff. If you're listening on iTunes, please rate and review us. It helps us on the charts. And that's what we need.
Yes.
Brings in more listeners.
Me more money.
Before we get into the meat of the program, let's talk about all our sponsors. Are we ready? Here comes the marathon. This is the marathon portion.
You do it. I'm ready.
All right. We will begin with LuchaMaskUSA.com for all your Lucha Libre needs straight from the luchadors themselves. They've got everything there. Visit them at LuchaMaskUSA.com. Tell them Dave sent you. He might know who you're talking about.
Tell him Dave sent you.
Nah, John don't know who I'm talking about. And you can also visit our friends at the Mass Republic. If you visit LuchaLoot.com, enter the promo code Dynasty, you will get 10% off of your first box. And if you visit LuchaShop.com and also enter the code Dynasty, you get 10% off your order, excluding masks.
Them motherfuckers are expensive.
They are. They are artwork, though. They're beautiful.
True.
I have quite a few back there in my collection.
I know you do. It's kind of creepy.
They're wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to start wearing them all the time. I'm just going to mix it up.
Just like wearing around your house and stuff. I'll come over and just be like some weirdo sitting on your front porch with
Would you be surprised?
Fucking mask on. Yeah, a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, and if you visit our website, DaveDynasty.com, top of the left-hand column, you can see the Amazon.com link. That is for our affiliate program. Click that. Do your Amazon shopping. No additional charge to you. We get a little kickback. Right below it is the link for HighSpots.com. Same deal. Click on that link. Go to HighSpots. Buy all your wrestling merchandise. They've got a little bit of everything there. No additional charge to you, and we get a little kickback.
Holla.
Now, the new portion, though.
Are you ready, player?
There's a new thing.
Are you ready, player?
Right below the HighSpots banner.
We gonna tell you.
And right in the middle of the page.
Hot man over here.
You're ruining the moment.
Am I?
We now have a pro wrestling tee store. Yay, it means you can buy Dave Dynasty Show shirts. Right now we have one shirt up, our logo with the Lucha mask. The little podcast guy. Pretty cool. But you can buy that shirt. That helps with our production costs a lot if you order shirts. And why would you not want to wear a Dave Dynasty Show shirt? They're killer.
They're pretty badass.
So you can go to Pro Wrestling Tees and look for us. We're easy to find on there. Or like we said, the links are there on DaveDynasty.com. Just look for the Pro Wrestling Tees logo. Speaking of DaveDynasty.com, there's links for all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Please click those links. Please click those links.
Smash that motherfucking like button.
Press the hell out of them. And then like, follow, subscribe, and share those. And if you want to send us anything via email, yeah, we got one of those too. You can email us at dave@davedynasty.com. Sometimes I forget about email. It's just everything's so much like messaging now.
I say,
but we got an email.
We don't live back in the day when we had AOL and dial-up anymore. So,
and if you want to send a snail mail, well, you can't because I'm not giving you my address.
Yeah, right.
But I think we should get a PO box.
Should we?
Yeah. Maybe people will send us something.
Yeah, like anthrax.
Whatever. If you're going to send anthrax, please put Ike Isaacs' name on it. I will be sure he opens it. I will video that some bitch.
Videotape me like getting poisoned by anthrax.
No, please don't send us anthrax.
Yeah, so now you've opened a bucket of worm, or what is it, a can of worms?
Nobody's got anthrax out there.
Yeah, you don't know that.
They don't listen to this podcast.
True. I don't think terrorists listen to the podcast.
Are there terrorist podcasts?
I'm curious now.
There probably is.
Is there?
I don't know.
Is there an Islamic State
I think
podcast?
this is like thin ice we're walking on. Maybe
really
we
is.
should steer off of this topic. Yeah. Anyway, we don't take snail mail right now, especially not now.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that PO box thing, but it's not looking real good right at the moment.
Yeah, I'll say we're not looking real positive right now.
So yeah, that's all the plugs. All the visit our sponsors. Visit all of our social media. Tell others. Also on DaveDynasty.com. You can listen to all the past episodes. Some really, really good episodes there.
Well, make
really good.
Make sure you tell all your friends, unless all your friends are dead.
We're looking at you, Cole Radrick. They're not all dead. Cole's my buddy. I'm his friend. I'm not dead. You keep singing, I might, though.
Anywho, what do we got going on today?
Yeah, you don't know, do you? I haven't even told you what we're going to talk about today, have I?
I mean, I know we have that interview with Gavin Glass, but other than that...
We do, but that's already done. We've already recorded that. I'm just going to put it into the editing process. What are you going to interview him again? You know what?
Right now.
Here's a tangent. I listen to a lot of podcasts, too, right?
Okay.
There is a podcast out there. I don't know what it's called. It's some... Okay. I'm not even going to mention the name because I don't want people to go look it up. But it's a podcast where I thought this guy interviews people, right?
Yeah.
Just all kinds of people in different narratives. There's all kinds. And I happened to scroll through there, and there wasn't anything real, I thought, unrealistic about it.
Okay.
And I noticed they had an interview with Dynamite Kid. And I thought, nah, really? He's not in good shape. But I thought, well, I don't know when he recorded it.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay. So it was only like a 30-minute thing. So I downloaded it, and today I tried to listen to it. It's literally two motherfuckers. One of them pretends to be Dynamite Kid and just acts like a dumbass. If I knew where this motherfucker was, I think I'd go kick his ass for mocking Dynamite Kid.
You're like, Dynamite Kid was a badass.
And he fucking was. He was amazing, and he's not in good shape.
Yeah.
Don't make him... I don't think he said anything derogatory, but don't
pretend to be him.
Do people listen to this podcast?
I'm curious now. They have to show me it. Maybe they can do a little research.
What a shit show.
For real, though.
Well, we guarantee our guests are real.
Yeah,
There's nobody doing fake crap.
I mean, you can tell by the poor quality of some of our interviews that they're real.
Well, that's what happens when you record via phone. Sometimes
exactly. That's authenticity.
It's not too bad, though.
That's not poor quality. It's authenticity.
Yeah, but anyway, we got that interview today. But we're going to talk and have a little discussion about the wrestling term mark. You know what a mark is? Yeah,
I know what a mark is.
What do you think a mark is? How do you define a mark?
That's like someone who still not necessarily believes in kayfabe, but it's like someone who like hardcore believes that it's somewhat real, and that if they're the person that doesn't win or whatever, that it's like some kind of like conspiracy or some shit like that.
Once upon a time, yes, the term mark meant people that weren't in the know, which was pretty much mostly everybody.
Yeah, pretty much 100% of everybody,
more or less. But it's okay, and the reason I wanted to talk about this is because more or less now it has become a derogatory term. To me, a mark is someone who's just a fan of the business, right? Yep. They just enjoy, no matter what it is. They like, whatever they like wrestling, right? They're not in the business. They're not looking to get in the business. They just like watching. They like buying. They like supporting. My question is this: if people are referring to those people and they're calling them marks, why is that a derogatory thing? Why is it derogatory that these people are fans of wrestling? Why do we need this term? Why can't they just be? Why are they just fans? Or better yet, if you're in the business and you're referring to these people, how about you call them customers and stop disrespecting them?
Yeah. Why do we
have to have this term mark?
I think how it works is like I don't necessarily think it's more about people who are outside of the business, not necessarily outside of the business, but people who like they know it's fake. They know there's no kayfabe. It's like they know it's not real.
But you hear people all the time. They'll have a discussion. Yeah. One guy will say, "Oh yeah, I like whatever. I like Seth Rollins, right?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you Mark, why the fuck? Why is that a bad? I mean,
Well,
that's what the guy likes.
yeah.
Why can't people just say, okay, cool, that's what you like, even if you don't like it? What?
Well, I think these people, they're the kind of people that are like, oh, the people who use the term mark in a derogatory term like that example are probably those people that are like, oh, you like Seth Rollins? Yeah, I like Tyler Black. You know, they're like, those are the kind of people that are like, I liked him before he was in the WWE.
Well, you know what? Seth Rollins makes a hell of a lot more money than Tyler Black did.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So, you know what? I'm a huge fan of Rollins stuff when he was Tyler Black, obviously. And I get it. And do I sometimes? Yeah, I would prefer to watch some of that stuff. But dude is making bank now.
Yeah.
So isn't that the goal? That's his job.
Not to mention he's pretty good.
That's like saying, okay, I work on an assembly line in a factory. They come down and say, hey, we're going to take you up and make you a vice president in charge of this factory or this line or assembly line or whatever.
Yeah.
You say, no. I'm not going to make more money and sell out. I'm staying down here. Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, if you had the option, I mean, it's like these are the people. This is their life. This is like their livelihood. You know, they have to make money.
This is the deal. They're in it. This is their job.
Yeah.
And if people that are truly invested and truly commit to being in the business, it's their job, and they're putting in the time and the training, and they're committing, and they're working the road, and they're. I'm not talking about, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I'm not talking about people that just do it recreationally.
Yeah,
and that's okay. If that's what if that's okay, if that's what people do. But the people that truly, that this is what they want to do wholeheartedly, 100%. What isn't their goal? Okay, if I'm going, it takes us out of wrestling. If I'm in a profession, is your goal not to make the most money and get to the highest level you can in that given profession?
Oh yeah.
In wrestling, that's the WWE. If they have to change your name when you get there, well, that's all marketing and merchandising.
Yeah.
And okay, yeah, but why? I mean, yeah, okay, you can say, oh, yeah, well, I was a fan of his before he got, I think his work was better. Okay, fine, that's fine. But why, that's your opinion, why do you call somebody else this name that's got a derogatory connotation now because they have a different opinion?
Yeah. Because because here's the thing, too, and this is something I learned from, like, having other friends that, like, watch wrestling and stuff, is that not everybody watches independent wrestling. And while I would encourage...
Obviously, the vast majority don't.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, they would be as big as TNA and WWE or whatever else.
I would say it probably wouldn't be called independent wrestling.
If this huge mass of people are watching WWE are watching these other companies, then there would be more balance.
Yeah.
And... trust me, I'm the biggest supporter of independent wrestling in the world. I wish more of them did watch.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's a growing number, and I think if we continue to work, more people will watch it. But let's don't fool ourselves.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to watch even PWG or whatever else. Not as many people are going to watch it as watch WWE. They're two different things.
Yeah. You got to call a spade with this kind of stuff because, it's called independent wrestling for a reason. It has an independent crowd. It's like with anything that has that name. It's not going to be known.
It's a small
that
business.
Well. Yeah.
It's like okay, I can go to Walmart and buy a loaf of bread, or I can go to the local mom and pop bakery and buy my loaf of bread.
Yeah.
And it's different. And some people prefer one over the other. Some people think both's good. Some people, and that's okay. I don't understand. My biggest problem is not just in wrestling; it's in everything. Is why people they can't respect someone else's tastes and opinions.
It's the same thing. It kind of relates to music too. It's like people are like, I liked them before they were cool, and it's like they get mad that these people have new fans. And that's the thing too. Is like, why would you get mad at like someone like, for instance, let's say Seth Rollins. Okay, why would you get mad at someone who likes Seth Rollins, who's buying his merchandise, who's keeping him in a job? Why would you hate them because they just came into the show a little late?
And that's why does it have to be a negative thing?
Yeah.
I mean, why can't this person just say, I'm not a big WWE fan, so once he went to WWE, I kind of stopped watching him, but I loved his stuff before.
Yeah.
But, and why not just say more power to the guy for he's making some money now.
Making buku bucks.
And, and doesn't have to take a 5-hour, 10-hour car ride and sleep in this car. I mean, it's like I don't understand why everything has to be. I think this is just the state of our country in general.
Yeah.
Why does everything have to be confrontational and everything has to be negative? I mean, here's the deal. They say a lot of people they speak derogatory about fans,
Yeah.
right? And they think, oh, this person just watches WWE. And even if that person is diehard and watches every minute of WWE programming and spends all kinds of money on merchandise and is obviously a huge supporter, they're not really a fan because they don't watch Japanese wrestling, or they don't watch Lucha Libre, or they don't watch their local independent. Yes, I wish maybe they would try.
Yeah.
But if that's not that's not what they like. They're still a wrestling fan. It's just they like that kind of wrestling.
Exactly.
That doesn't make them more or less of a fan than somebody else because they like something different.
I think
it's just different.
I think you're less of a fan when you start talking shit about other people who are supporting the profession.
Because you're not supporting the business.
Yeah, you're basically talking.
Because this is the deal. I wish every motherfucker in this goddamn world watched some form of wrestling. I don't care what it was. I wish they watched something. Yeah. I wish everybody was a wrestling fan of whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And if they don't like the same things I like, that's fine. There are people out there that do. And I don't understand why everybody thinks their thing's better than everybody else. And that they can take a term that was probably, in my opinion, was innocent when it began.
Yeah.
And now it has this negative joking connotation about it. I mean, get off it. Because the fact of the matter is, at least at one point in our lives, shouldn't everybody associated with the wrestling business have been a fan?
I think everyone everyone who's ever watched wrestling, no matter at what time they start watching, they're a mark.
I mean, if you're
in the traditional sense of the meaning.
I understand, depending on your age, that maybe the illusion is not there anymore.
Yeah,
and that's okay. That's not about that. But if you're a true fan and you're working independence and you're out there, the starving artist thing, and you're that committed to it, then at some point in your life you had to have just been a fan. Yeah. You had to have just looked at it and said, "Oh my God, this is fucking amazing! I want to do this."
Yeah.
Well, by your derogatory terms, then you were a mark. So why now? Because now you're in the business. You want to speak badly of the motherfucker? Those marks that are coming to these shows and paying $10, $15, $20 a ticket on weekends. Some of them every weekend, all over the place.
Oh yeah.
They're paying your fucking salary or whatever you're making. Which, if you're that much of an asshole, you're probably not making that much. As Mance Warner would say, there probably ain't much green in that white.
Yeah, seriously though.
But it's like, and with that kind of attitude, how are you? I think you're missing the boat. See, if you're going to all these shows and you're working somewhere every weekend, and you see this one fan that's all over the place and diehard and just totally into it, man, you should be like, fuck, that's great.
You should become best friends with him.
I mean, you're trying to make money. Shouldn't you be trying to sell this guy a shirt, not speak badly of him?
Yeah, exactly.
So don't be a dick to him, or he ain't gonna like you. I mean,
you're gonna attract more bees with honey than vinegar.
I mean, like, there are people out there that just they love comedy wrestling, or they love hardcore wrestling, or they love a form of international wrestling, or they love women's wrestling, and that's their primary thing. And that is great because every one of those styles needs support.
Oh yeah.
But if you don't like the same thing as them, or they don't like the same thing as you, that doesn't make one of you right and wrong. I mean, that's like saying, this guy prefers white bread over wheat bread. No one's wrong or right there.
You're two sides of the same coin.
It's all wrestling.
Yeah. And
not every bit of it's going to be for everybody, and everybody's entitled to like what they want to like. Mm-hmm. Why does anybody in the wrong? Why does anybody have a negative? I mean, and the fact of the matter is, why should they be speaking negatively about someone that's spending money and supporting this business?
Here's the thing. At the end of the day,
if it wasn't for these quote-unquote marks, wrestling would disappear.
Yeah.
Because the majority of your wrestling fans are not hardcore people going to independent shows on the weekends.
No. They're casual fans who watch WWE.
Mass people who are going to buy figures at Walmart and shirts off WWE Shop or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And DVDs or maybe through Amazon if they're going to buy anything. Those people that other people speak badly of, they're keeping this business afloat.
Yeah.
Because if you take all them away, there's not enough of the rest of the diehards that live and breathe it every minute of every day to keep it going. There's not enough of it to go around. That's just the way it is. That's the way any business is. That's the way it all is.
Yep.
So, I started the show by saying trying to bring the positivity back in pro wrestling. That's what I'm saying. Everybody just needs to quit being dickheads.
Yeah.
And just remember, hey, we're all in the same, supporting and loving the same business. No matter what flavor you like, it's all the same. It's all professional wrestling. And, if you want to get on, you want to trash and say, I think, comedy wrestling is the worst shit. Well, that's fine. That's your opinion. You're entitled to that.
Yep.
But don't cross that line and say people that like it are wrong or whatever else, because that's their thing. You can have whatever opinion you want about the product. But kind of on a tangent, what I've always told everybody in the world is, I see an awful lot of people that go online and rip and trash WWE, but yet they're paying $9.99 every month for the network, and they're buying all kinds of stuff. And it's like, if you hate it that much, then take your money elsewhere.
Yeah, stop watching it.
That's how it works. If you don't like it, that's fine. That's great. But take your money then and, go support somebody else. What do you do like? And maybe just sometime, like I said, you're entitled to say whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's cool because, negative rants are sometimes fun. But how about let's have a positive rant on what you do like? Because I see so many people on social media, whatever else, and I know what they hate, but I don't know what they like.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you like then? Okay, you hate this stuff. So what is it in wrestling you do like then? Because you don't ever say that. So I don't know. And maybe if some of these people in the business would spend a little more time, I don't know, supporting the shows that they're working and retweeting and sharing stuff instead of pointing out what they view to be faults in others. Maybe some of these shows would see a little boost.
I feel as if you are speaking on a singular person, and
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't have anybody in mind.
Okay, I didn't know. If
I thought about it hard enough, I'd come up with a shit ton list, but that's okay.
Okay, as I figured, but I was sitting here thinking, I was like,
but the thing is this: if you're out there and you listen to this, and I've touched a nerve,
good,
and look in the
good,
mirror, and because you can always change, you can always be a better person, be a more positive person, a more supporting person. But I hate when people speak of their opinion and their tastes like it's a fact. It's not a fact. That's not what it is.
Your feelings are not gospel.
And you can't sit there and say that X is better than Y because you like X more. That doesn't make it better.
Yeah.
It just means you like it more. So
when one day, far in the future, when wrestling dies, we can thank those people.
It'll never die.
Thank God.
It'll never die.
I don't think it ever will.
It'll always be here in some capacity. Always. Dudes have been wrestling around since the beginning of time.
True. Backyard wrestling.
Yeah, no.
Wrestling.
All right, that's enough of that rant.
Fair enough.
I think I've said what I want to say.
That's fair.
In a nutshell, just be better people. Just be better people.
Don't be a shitbird, as old Mance would say.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. Let me catch my breath. Maybe have a nice adult beverage to calm me down.
Catch my breath.
And when we come back,
hold me down.
we will have our interview with a young up-and-coming wrestler, Gavin Glass, so stick around.
Visit LuchaMaskUSA.com for official high-quality Lucha masks and merchandise, straight from the luchadors themselves. They have a huge and always growing inventory, so check back often. That's LuchaMaskUSA.com.
And welcome back to the Dave Dynasty Show. My name is Ike Isaacs, and today I'm joined by yet another amazing talent, Gavin Glass. How are we doing today?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Pretty great. I'm always I actually doing really great because I'm pretty excited to have another awesome talent on the show. Ready to pick your brain a little bit.
I appreciate that.
All right, man. So hey, as always, when we kind of bring anyone on here, we always kind of get into their history a little bit, get into their past. So first thing we ask is, when did you start watch wrestling?
I started watching wrestling in 2006. Actually, I wasn't one of those people who from 3 years old I was watching wrestling. It's 2006. I was introduced to it by one of my friends. Where at the middle school used to do open swim, and we were swimming, and my friend said, "Hey, you want to go over and watch SmackDown?" And I had no idea what that was. So I went over to his house. We watched an episode of SmackDown, and I was hooked from there.
Right on. So then, who did you like watching when you were younger, when you started watching wrestling?
My favorite was Shawn Michaels. Well, that's kind of like an answer a lot of guys give, but Shawn Michaels was my favorite, and he still is to this day. Absolutely.
Well, the Heartbreak Kid, he's man, he's pretty incredible. He had a pretty great career, but definitely. So, was it at this time that wrestling kind of hooked you? Was that kind of when you knew you wanted to wrestle, or is there a moment that kind of just sparked something inside you?
I was just a fan for it, and I played the video games and got really into those. And then the moment I really decided I wanted to do this was probably in 7th grade. We had to write a paper on what we wanted to be when we grew up. And I really had no idea at that time, but I knew I had a really big passion for wrestling. So I wrote it on that, and the teacher thought I was crazy, and here I am.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So when did you start training, and who trained you?
I started training in September of 2013 by a guy named Patrick Cook. And then when he left as the trainer of that school, it was called the Pier 6 Academy in a small town in Hamlin, New York. And when he left, a named Jordan Lennox started training me. And then I started training with him, and then I made my debut in January of 2014.
Okay. So when you debuted, what was your debut match? Tell us about that.
It was a battle royal. It was the first match on the card. It was a battle royal to decide the number one contender for the heavyweight title later that night, and I was scared. I was very, very nervous.
Yeah, definitely.
I went out there. I had no idea what I was going to do when I went through that curtain, so I winged it. I did the typical, come on, let's go, throw the hands in the air, walk awkwardly to the ring, and I got the heck beaten out of me. I remember I got chopped so many times. I got chopped in the throat. I got cut. I was bleeding, but I loved it, and I came back for more.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a peculiar first match, especially because I know with battle royals, when there's like so many people moving around, that's a lot of moving parts that can be very hard to figure out.
Exactly.
Definitely. And what promotion was that for, if you don't mind me asking?
It was for Pier 6 Wrestling. It was a small promotion in Rochester, New York that shut down about 3 years ago.
Oh man, right on.
I only had 3 matches with the company before it folded.
I understand. Definitely. Excuse me. So we've kind of talked about a little bit of your history here, and got to pick your brain there. So as we kind of come forward to the present day, you're part of a pretty incredible wrestling scene, a pretty incredible independent wrestling scene, probably one of the best that we've had in a very long time.
For sure.
Since you're a part of that, what are your opinions about the best and worst parts of independent wrestling?
The best part is just like you said, like wrestling is crazy right now. It's at like all-time high in my opinion. People are saying wrestling's dying, but I think it's the opposite. Wrestling is just getting bigger and bigger. I'm just so fortunate to be a part of it right now. I came up at a perfect time, I think, 'cause it's just within the last year and a half, it's just boomed. Like the independent scene is just on fire right now. So I'm really fortunate to be part of the new blood, as you'd say, coming up in the independent scene.
Yeah.
But what I don't like about indie wrestling, just the drama. I think it's unneeded, but it's alwaing going to be there. But wrestling should be fun, and that's how I like to go about it, is like show up to shows. I have a blast, try to entertain the fans as much as I can, and then do it again the next weekend.
Definitely. I think that's a good mindset to have. But unfortunately, people don't like to leave drama in high school where it should be, right?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Definitely. Well, kind of along the same path, with independent wrestling, when you come into the business, sometimes people like to kind of help you. People like to advise you, take you under their wing and such and so forth. So when you started, was there anybody that took you under your wing and helped you out?
Sean Carr is a guy who has helped me more than anyone. Sean has given me the advice to help me forward my career. He looks over my matches all the time. I send him a message and say, "Hey, Sean, will you look over this? Tell me what I need to improve on." He'll say, "Hey, sure, bud," right away. 10 minutes later, he'll send me his critiques and tell me what to work on. Sean Carr is one of those guys. He just got announced for the ROH Top Prospect Tournament, so he's ready to blow up, and people are going to know who he is. So it's just an honor to learn from him.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I definitely understand, a lot of people talk about when they get those figures in their life, it's very fortunate to have someone there and kind of tell you what's going on, right?
Yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So as we've talked about, you're really just starting your career. You have already started to make your mark, and you're such a fresh new blood, as you've put it. And you, like I said, you've already started making your mark, moving out to new areas, and you've worked in many states outside of your home, which is New York. So what's it like going to a new area and wrestling for the first time?
I love it because, to be honest, I don't wrestle in New York that much. Right now I'm only wrestling for one promotion. That's my home fed, IWF Brockport, about 20 minutes from my house. I've wrestled in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, and every time I go to a new place, it's just an honor to meet new people, to network, and just show your face to new fans and get your name out there more.
Absolutely, absolutely. Pardon me. So I'm going to kind of jump back just a little bit. I want to talk about your debut and around that area.
Okay.
When you did debut, you had sort of a gimmick, like a varsity gimmick. How did that begin?
The varsity gimmick didn't start until this past year.
Okay.
When I debuted, I didn't really have a gimmick. I was just Gavin Glass, just a 16-year-old kid who had no idea what he was in wrestling, and I still don't know entirely what I am yet. I'm still trying to find myself, and that's why it's good to start early and work up to that.
Definitely.
But I didn't really have a gimmick, and the varsity gimmick came around. I was at a show. It was the first time I wrestled Sean Carr, and he said, because I had the varsity jacket, because I just wore it for a style, just to have an entrance jacket, because, kids. And,
yeah, definitely.
And he said, you need to run with that. You need to be an arrogant peaked in high school jock. And I thought about it, and I said, that's brilliant. I don't think anyone on the independents is doing that right now. So this upcoming year, I'm going to try to make that me and try to push it to over the top and make that my overall gimmick.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, kind of on the same idea, your character, like you said, when you first started out, you didn't really have a character, but then you kind of moved into that varsity gimmick. That progression has changed, obviously. It's changed quite a bit over time. Do you see your gimmick changing at all, or do you kind of see yourself running with that even further than it has?
Yeah, everything in wrestling evolves, so I hope I keep on evolving, and if the gimmick has to change, and who knows, maybe 2 years from now I'll finally find myself, and that it'll click, and that'll be my gimmick. But for now, the varsity gimmick, I'm going to try to make that evolve and see how far I can get with it.
Absolutely. Pardon me. So, as with all wrestlers, there's always difficulties that come with wrestling, injuries, difficulties, just overall. So what is the most difficult part of being a wrestler to you?
Most difficult part. I've always been on the smaller side. I'm 6 foot, 160 pounds. I'm rather skinny, and that's obviously a very hard thing to be in this business when everyone else is 6'5" and jacked. So walking to locker rooms is kind of intimidating sometimes because I'm not always going to be the biggest guy. But sometimes I'm not the smallest guy, so that's good sometimes. But I've really focused, especially this year, I'm going to focus on getting in the gym every day, eating right, and putting on the size I need to compete.
Absolutely, absolutely. So as well on the difficulties of being a wrestler, have you ever encountered any kind of injuries?
Just the usual bumps and bruises. In a training match, I took a power bomb from a guy named Terrell Kenneth. He's an absolute monster and an awesome talent that everyone should look up. I took a power bomb. I didn't tuck my chin as much as I should have, and I got a mild concussion. But other than that, just the usual bumps and bruises.
Right on. That's very good though, because typically, wrestling's very dangerous, obviously. But
Yes.
so as well, with wrestlers, they also travel a lot. Do you have any cool road stories?
Just usually it's just me and my girlfriend. She supports me so much in what I do, and she loves being on the road. She just thinks they're like mini vacations every weekend. So it's just usually me and her just on the road every weekend, just enjoying. It's just our time to bond. And if she likes wrestling and she supports what I do, then that's just, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we always ask anyone we bring on here, because typically wrestlers are surprisingly, they're always pretty open books. Their fans know quite a bit about them as well, because you integrate parts of your person into your character. But as well, sometimes people have like little secrets or little things about them that they don't tell people. But is there anything about Gavin Glass that your fans don't know about you?
Anything about me that my fans don't know? That's a hard question. That's a really good question. I'm not sure. I try to add all of my fans on Facebook so they can keep up with what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. So, I don't think so. Like, nothing too extreme.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm an open book. If anyone wanted to ask me any question, like, private message me on Facebook, and I'll be gladly to answer it.
No, yeah, definitely. It's actually funny because every time I talk to a talent or anybody like that, they're always open books, which is an amazing thing about wrestling, I think, is that you can be an open book and it not be an issue, basically.
Right, yeah.
So, we're almost to February now. It's January 30th, I think, and we're looking ahead at an amazing year for wrestling. I can already feel it. So, what is Gavin Glass's goals for 2017?
My goal for 2017 is to wrestle as much as possible, wrestle as many places as possible, and just try to put on the best match I can every single time I get in that ring.
Absolutely.
Coming up, Indiana to wrestle for WCWO again, and I'll be returning to All-Star Pro Wrestling, where I'm going to wrestle Ace Perry for the second time, so I'm really excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, just every weekend I hope to be booked somewhere, no matter where it is on the card. I just want to go out there and do my best to put on the best showing and work my way to the top.
Absolutely. So, as well, kind of on the same mindset of having goals for 2017, a lot of talent, they have a list of people that they want to wrestle.
Yep, I have mine.
Do you have your list? All right. So can you give us a couple names off that list? Give us an idea of what you're looking at?
Sure can. I would love to work Cole Radrick. He's another young guy that's starting out that I can just see a lot of myself in him. He has the same passion, same drive, and I would love to get in the ring with him.
Absolutely.
Brother Reed's another guy I think I would have a really good match with, that I would love to wrestle him. Zachary Wentz, Trey Miguel, Rude Boy Riley is another guy I'd like to work. Yeah, just those guys.
Right on.
Or a few.
Definitely, yeah, and we've had Cole Radrick on the show once, and he's a pretty cool guy. Same thing with Myron Reed, and we've talked to Zachary Wentz before, and they're all really very, very talented people, and I would love to see a match between all of them and you, obviously. But that's a very good list. It's a very good list. I can definitely relate to that list. So definitely.
Hope it happens this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be keeping my eye out for that. So definitely, well, thank you so much. Obviously, this has been a very, very good interview. Very good to be able to pick your brain a little bit. You know, we like branching out and getting people from all over because definitely the wrestling scene from where you're from and how you travel is different from someone who wrestles on the, let's say, in California or in Indiana, for instance. So it's definitely been awesome to have you on the show, Gavin. Definitely been a pleasure. Where can people find you on the internet? Where can people find you, your social medias and such?
On Facebook, you can find me. Just search Gavin Glass, or you can like my page, Gavin Glass -Pro Wrestler. Instagram is Gavin Glass _pro, and Twitter is also Gavin Glass _pro. And then you can email me at gglass _pro @yahoo.com.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Gavin. It's been a genuine pleasure having you on the show. Everybody, go look him up on social media. Look at this guy. He's got some cool videos on his pages and whatnot. See him wrestle. But thank you so much, Gavin. It's been awesome. Hopefully, maybe one day down the road when you make it big, we'll have you back on here and you can tell us about how you succeeded.
Thank you, man. It was a pleasure.
All right, man. See you, man.
Visit our friends at the Masked Republic. Go to luchaloot.com and luchashop.com and use the promo code DYNASTY for exclusive discounts. Come crack open a cold one and let Old Manser tell you a story.
King of Big Dog Style, Laird's and Light Beer, the king of the trailer court, your favorite wrestler of mine, me.
This is Warner's Wisdom with Mance Warner.
All right, people, here we go with your favorite wrestler of mine, me. Old Mance Warner here, another edition of Warner Wisdom, right here on the Dave Dynasty Show. I'm out here on the roads, making ties, getting my payday, selling my t-shirts, putting boots to dummies. That's what Old Manser does out here. I'm wearing my boots right now. Beautiful, beautiful wrestling boots. I don't wear them kick pads because I ain't a pussy, baby. Okay, Old Manser out here making these ties, like I said. Another edition of Warner's Wisdom right here. Cranking these bad boys out every week. Best part of the Dave Dynasty Show right here. Dave pretty good, but Old Manser, he pretty damn good too. Better, the best, right here on the podcast, on the social media, on all that business. Like I said, this is Warner Wisdom. King of Big Dog Style, Laird's and Light Beer, Pop-Up Headbutt, Mouth of the Mid-South. You people know all my nicknames. So, got another edition. I don't know what number it is. I got so many of them I'm putting out on here on the social media. They're always good. I don't ever shortchange you on none of this. Nah. Hold on here. Almost ran off the road. Wasn't sure if it's recording or not. Okay, here we go. Back at it. Get all the kinks worked out. See, on this edition here of Warner's Wisdom, Old Manser is gonna let y'all know what I'm gonna be doing on this tax season. Not like my homeboy IRS, but it is tax season coming up. I got some good road stories I'll get into with old IRS at some point down the road here. But I'm gonna get into tax season here and what Old Manser gonna be doing. Now see, Manser out here on the roads, on the highways and byways, tearing up towns, starting up riots, making all these toothless people out in the crowd angry, and selling my t-shirts that y'all can find on Pro Wrestling Tee. Put in Mance Warner, Old Manser, buy one of them t-shirts, beautiful t-shirts, make it look real cool. Now let me get back on topic. I trail off on times. Now, Old Manser out here talking about tax season. I ain't gonna go into detail about how Old Manser does his taxes, or if he does do his taxes. But Old Manser out here, I do like to do a lot of charity work throughout these times with single mothers. Old Manser does a lot of charity work out here. Now, since it's tax season, the single mothers get their taxes done, and Old Manser always gets a cut, baby. Always get a little something off the payroll. Go to pay window around this time every year. It's a great time. It's like another Christmas for Old Manser. Now, what I had next to me here, what I've been working on, is a list of things that old Mancer gonna get from his rats out here. For my charity work that I do with the single mothers from here down to Texas. Then over to California. And then I got one out in Mexico. And then in Puerto Rico. Then over in the UK. All over the world, Mancer is out there doing a little charity work, man. I'm a good guy at the end of the day. I don't lie to you people. I'm a good guy. I like to put in my hard work and get my return around this time every year. But I swear to God, one of them kids call old Mancer daddy, I'm going to throw a big old vicious lariat or a headbutt. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm getting too worked up here. Okay. On my list that old Mancer got right here of the items that I will be getting this tax season. Number 1, old Mancer's tax season return extravaganza. Let me clear my throat here and get ready to talk to all you people and let all you people know what I'm going to be picking up here. My damn list almost flew out the window. Okay. Number 1 for old Mancer here. I'm going to get me another beautiful raincoat made by my guy over in the Orient, over in Japan, David Lopan. Another shout out for my guy out there, David Lopan, make all my ring coats, my ring jackets, beautiful satin, the best satin you can find. I'm gonna get me a nice ring coat made, nice ring jacket. I ain't sure what I'm gonna put on it. I think on this one I'm just gonna let him kind of go to town, make me up a nice ring jacket. And that's number 1, numero uno for old Mancer on this list. All right, let me skim on down here to number 2. Now, before I go to number 2, I'm going to get in, because you always got to get your shit in at the end of the day. Old Mancer wants to get in something that all you people love to hear every week. You know what I'm talking about out there. I want you to close your eyes. Put your hand, your fat finger, your ear, your face, your what's that thing called? Your headphones that you're listening to on the, maybe you got one of them old, what is it? Is it an iPhone? Maybe you got some real nice, beautiful headphones in your ear right now. That's from the iTunes, the iPhones, whatever it is, whatever you're listening to right now. I want you to close them eyes, close them peepers, and get ready for it. I know you know what's coming up right here. Now wait for it. I want you to say it right now, and then I'm gonna bust one out for you. Whoa. Wackadoo! I just had to get my wackadoo in there. I love saying it. Get all worked up. Go out there throwing them lariats and big boots and headbutts and pop-up headbutt. I got to scream out wackadoo one time. Okay, where was that? Okay, number 2. Number 1, let me refresh it for you. Number 1, old Mancer gonna get a beautiful ring jacket. Number 2 on here, I want to get a kimono, which will also probably come from David Lopan out there. He gonna send me a beautiful kimono made of silk. The old Mancer could wear. Maybe I'm going into Dollar General. Maybe I'm rolling up into Walmart. Maybe I'm gonna go down to the liquor store and get me 6, 12, 18, I don't know, 30, 60, 100, 120, 200 light beers. See, I got credit at my local liquor store. I got credit at my local bar. Old Mancer rolls in. They just let me get drunk as a skunk. I get in some fights. I get put over. Wink, wink. It's a good time, man. Get me a beautiful kimono. Put that robe on. Hit the towns, hit the bar. I wear my sandals around. Sometimes I don't want to wear shoes all the time. It's just more comfortable to have some beautiful sandals on. And I ain't talking about just some bullshit sandals. I'm talking about custom made from the Orient. Beautiful sandals. I throw them on. Now they got another name for them, but I get hit so many times in the head. I've been doing this a long time, people. Sometimes I forget exactly what them sandals are called, but old Mancer wears them, and I wear them very well. Okay. Number 2 is my kimono, a beautiful robe to old Mancer. Maybe it's got some dragons on there. Maybe it's got a tiger on there. Maybe it's got a samurai man with a samurai sword swinging through some bamboo, swinging through some other guys. Someone did this samurai guy wrong and he cut his head right off. I don't know. I'm just putting a beautiful spin on this beautiful kimono robe the old Mancer gonna be wearing. Okay. Number 3, I'm gonna buy so many light beers at other towns. Like I said, old Mancer got credit at my local bar. I got credit at my liquor store. Some of these towns I go to, I gotta try their homemade brew of light beer. I got to try it. I got to give a review. That's called a segue, people. That brings me to my next topic here real quick. If you're a local brewery, a local place is whipping up some light beer, send them on over here to Old Mancer. You can find me drunk as a skunk throughout Bucksnort, Tennessee, or you can hit me on the social media. You can hit me up on the Instagram at Mance Warner. You can hit me up on the Twitter. You can hit me up on the Facebook. You could hit me up on any of them avenues right there. Hit up Old Mancer. Send me your light beers. I'll take a picture with them. I'll drink them up. And I'll probably put you over on social media if it's good. But my God Almighty, if it's bad light beer, I'm going to send you a scathing letter. I'm going to send you a letter with all kinds of curse words in it. I'm going to be hot. I'm going to be heated. I'm going to be angry. And I'm going to be talking some shit. I'm going to be talking a lot of shit. There's going to be a whole bunch of wackadoos thrown in there. Okay, what number am I on? Number 3 with light beer. Number 4. Number 4. Old Mancer needs to get some athletic tape that I will tape around my wrist and any other part of my body that's bruised, cut, or bleeding after these shows. Now, what Old Mancer does with this athletic tape here is I use it on my wrist before my matches, before I step in the ring and bring the old school ass whooping to some of these boys. But what I also do with this tape is, and I learned this a long time ago, Old Mancer shows up with his tape, and these kids are so worried about their high spots and their flippity-doos that they don't got no damn white tape to put on the wrist. So they come to Old Mancer, and Old Mancer goes, "Oh yeah, brother, I can help you out." And then I hand over the tape. Some of you younger boys can use this method too. This is a little bit of that wisdom I send out to y'all. I hand over the tape, and then I go, "Oh man, I forgot this. That's probably the last of my tape. I ain't gonna be able to get no tape for a while. I gotta make these towns. I ain't got no tape on me." And they go, "Oh Mancer, shit, man, I don't want to put you out like that." And I go, "Oh, hold on here, brother. You use some of that tape. Just hand me over, $2 to $5, $2 to $5 in between there. I leave it up to them." Just like having those pictures, man. You got a picture, you sell them at your booth down there, you gonna make some money. That's what Old Mancer does with his damn tape as well. So, Old Mancer got there, and I sell my tape. I make my money. Little does anybody know, Old Mancer gets a whole numerous boxes of athletic tape every year around tax season for all my charity work I do out here with the single mothers. It's a beautiful thing. Life's a beautiful thing out here, people. Now I got some more on this list, but I gotta go rock a piss up in here. So, Old Mancer, I'm gonna go back to this list now. I may record another podcast tonight. Maybe this is double feature here. Maybe Old Mancer, I do it next week. I don't know. We'll figure it out, people. I live day by day. Now, at the end of the day, there's been another beautiful, beautiful, beautiful episode of Warner's Wisdom out here on the Dave Dynasty Show every week. I give y'all a little bit of Warner's wisdom to make you a little bit more smart than what you are. And I know a lot of you out there are pretty dumb. That's okay. I ain't here to judge nobody, people. Now, I'm going to send you off with this. I hope y'all had a good week. Ain't going to be as good as mine. It's just the way it goes, man. It's just the cards that were dealt to you. You can't be as good as old Mance out here. That's the way it is. You just got to roll with the punches, people. I'll see y'all on the next edition of Warner's Wisdom out here on the Dave Dynasty Show. So go ahead, hashtag some wackadoos out there, hashtag pop up headbutt old Mancer with the Laird's of Light Beer. Check this out on the I think they're post on the Instagram, all the social media, the Facebook, what's the other one called? I forget the names of these every week, man. I'm getting old out here. What do I say? Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud. That's the one, SoundCloud. All of them. Go ahead, check it out, people. I'll see y'all dummies next week.
And welcome back to the Dave Dynasty Show.
What's up?
We had a little chat with Gavin Glass. We sat around the old Mance wisdom tree and got a lesson.
Couple apples fell. Little nuggets of knowledge.
Maybe nuggets. I don't know. Yeah. So before we move forward, let me throw out some upcoming shows that if you're in the area, you should check out, in my humble opinion. March 4th in New York City, Ring of Honor Wrestling will be there. You can check them out at rohwrestling.com. Also on March 4th in LaSalle, Illinois, AAW. You can check them out at aawrestling.com. Also on March 4th in Providence, Rhode Island, Women's Wrestling Revolution. You can look them up on Facebook. I believe there might be information on the Beyond Wrestling website. I'm not completely sure about that. You can check out IWA Mid-South every Thursday night in Jeffersonville, Indiana, and every Saturday night in Memphis, Indiana. Rockstar Pro Wrestling every Wednesday in Dayton, Ohio, and also every Wednesday in Louisville, Kentucky, Ohio Valley Wrestling. WCWO is every Friday night in Indianapolis, Indiana. And, of course, my fellow Lucha Libre fans, CMLL every Monday and Tuesday on YouTube and every Friday on clarosports.com. You can look up all those promotions on Facebook. They're all on there. While you're out on the intranet, as a Mance would say, on the intranet.
On the interwebs.
We quote Mance a lot, man. He's bleeding into our way of speaking. So, but while you're out there on the internet perusing, make sure you visit DaveDynasty.com. Again, there you can hear all of our past episodes of our podcast and find links to all of our social media. And also, you can find links to all of our sponsors. Visit them, LuchaMaskUSA.com, The Masked Republic. Visit and use our Amazon.com and HighSpots.com affiliate links, and go buy a T-shirt at ProWrestlingTees.com. Be one of the cool kids. Don't be a mark. Buy a Dave Dynasty Show shirt.
I wish I was like the cool kids.
Why are you saying so much on here?
Like the cool
Good
kids.
Lord Almighty. And, wow. So, yeah, buy a shirt. Don't listen to Isaac, whatever he's doing over there. Ike Isaacs in his one-man band.
All the other kids with the pumped up kicks. I love that song.
Anyway, and also be able to check out this Wednesday a bonus episode of the Dave Dynasty Show.
Yes,
Bonus.
yes.
It is going to be the first episode in kind of a loose series we'll be doing over time, just dropping random bonus episodes of Legends of Indiana Wrestling. And this first one will be with Bobo Brazil Jr.
Holla.
Nice long interview that Ike did with him discussing his 40 years in the business. You want to make sure you hear it. Got some couple killer stories there about Scott Steiner that came up in the conversation.
Sure did.
And Bobo Brazil name dropped Pork Chop Cash for me.
Yes, you did.
And lo and behold, because of this Bobo Brazil Jr. interview, I now have a phone number for Pork Chop Cash.
Which is amazing.
I am fanboying out, and as soon as I get up enough nerve to somehow make contact, we are going to try to get an interview with Pork Chop Cash.
At some point, we should also release that voicemail.
Yeah, I have a voicemail for Pork Chop Cash on my phone.
Oh man,
it's great!
It's a hoot and a half. I'll tell you that.
It's great. You know what? Actually, I'm not gonna release the whole thing because it's without his consent. But
yeah,
maybe we'll talk to him. We'll ask. But
yeah,
well, actually, we talked to him. We don't need it. But yeah. Anyway, just suffice to say, I have an interview.
Yeah.
Maybe right here in a sec, I'll drop a little snippet, just a little bit with him saying hi.
Hey guys, pork chop
Just so you
cash.
all believe that I've made some contact, hoping to have him on for a future interview.
It's like an alien. We've made first contact.
It's gonna be fun. Gonna be good. So anyway, check out that Bobo Brazil Jr. interview on Wednesday. We have a couple other Indiana legends. Even if you're not from Indiana, these are good stories. A lot of these guys have been around long enough that they all have some really good stories about Dick the Bruiser. And everybody knows who Dick the Bruiser is. The wrestling's most dangerous man. So,
and according to Bobo Brazil, the world's actually the most dangerous man.
Yeah. Bo talks all about it. Make sure you listen to that interview on Wednesday. You can get that through all your normal means for listening to our podcast. And I think that's it.
I believe it is.
Yeah. So I'm Dave Dynasty.
And I'm Ike Isaacs.
Be good, be safe, and keep on growing. We will see you Wednesday.